What's going on, guys? It's Tactical Trash Panda here once again to bring you another episode of Talking Trash with Panda. This will be episode 8. So thank you for joining us tonight. Tonight we have a very special guest, a good friend of mine, and a fellow Brownells Bureau Propaganda field agent. So he is a amazing content creator, and I want you guys to know about him a little bit. And that's why I invited him today. Also, we also have some amazing, exciting news that you all want to hear about later tonight. So stay tuned for that. Don't go anywhere or you'll miss it. That being said, I want to thank our channel sponsor, our show sponsor, NuPrint Custom Firearms, because they help us out with so much cool stuff for our guests, and they do amazing work. As you can see, they do cuts for your slides. They do custom Cerakote work, polishing. It's just, you name it, talk to them, they'll get it to you. That being said, I want to bring in my co-host, Angry Sarge.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good to see you.
Hey, Sarge.
I'm back. What's
Good
up,
to
man?
see you, brother.
You ready? You ready for this show?
Oh,
Somebody you
I'm
know?
ready.
It'll
Oh
be
yeah.
fun. And the
You
news,
haven't?
I'm really excited about the end. So we're gonna try to keep this show at an hour around that time, so that way we can give this announcement to you guys. I'm sure some of you have seen it on social media, but we're not gonna go there on that. We're gonna let it kind of marinate and see who doesn't know, and we're gonna maybe have some special people show up and kind of be with us during this announcement. So
I'm excited.
I'm ready.
I've been
Let's do
holding
it.
this in for weeks now. So
I know it's been hard. I've been doing a lot of background stuff, trying to figure out stuff, and all of us have been
yeah.
playing a part and trying to make this possible. So it's pretty awesome, and I'm excited to be a part of all of it.
So am I. Well, guess they're just gonna have to wait for that.
Yeah.
Until then, let's bring in our guest, Mr. Christian Grest. Welcome to the show, Christian. How are you?
Hey fellas, how y'all doing?
Doing
Doing
good.
pretty good.
Amazing.
Thank you for coming.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
I appreciate you taking the time tonight to kick it with us and let our guests know who you are.
Oh yeah.
So it's very simple the way we do things. We just have a couple questions that we like to ask, so our guests really get to know who our audience really get to know who our guest is, so really they can follow you and watch your content, because you do create some very, very nice content on YouTube and Instagram. I know you have a blog as well.
Yep.
We do have all the descriptions, the links in the description to everything that you have social media wise. So guys, once this live is over, make sure to go check that out. Give Christian a follow. But Christian, let's get to the nitty gritty. Our first question for you.
Sounds good.
First question for you is, what is your background and how did you get interested into firearms?
All right. Well, I've actually been into firearms since I was probably about old enough to walk. So I remember I grew up in down in Florida, and I lived in the southern part of Florida first part of my childhood, and then I lived in the northern part the second half. But my dad did a lot of hunting and stuff, and he'd drag me out to the Everglades with him, and I'd follow him around hunting and shooting black powder and stuff like that, and just always had a fascination for firearms, whether it be hunting firearms or military firearms specifically, especially historical World War II era firearms. So So I was always in firearms growing up. Was on a rifle team when I was in high school. I was in junior ROTC, and then kind of continued some of that passion when I joined the Navy right out of high school. I spent about 9.5 years in the Navy. My main job was not anything firearm related. I was a fire controlman, which is I worked on shipboard radar and shipboard weapon systems. And but I was part of the security team, so I got to handle small firearms, M9, originally 1911s, Mossberg 500 pump shotguns, M14s. We had M60s as well as 50 cals on the ship, and so I got to play with a lot of this stuff during my service. And then kind of continued that once I got out. I actually got out in 2004 and started making actually some half decent money. So I was able to start kind of growing my passion a little bit, getting something here, something there, and honestly, a lot of my fascination is tinkering. And when I say tinkering, I mean, if something's not working right, trying to fix it, or trying to improve upon something, or maybe polishing, and trigger, or doing some stock work. I have a lot of my early collection was vintage World War II era firearms like M1 Grands. I've had a whole bunch of M1 Grands. I got a German K98K. Actually have a World War II rifle my grandfather brought back from the islands during the Pacific War as well. So, but yeah, so that's kind of my historical, interest in firearms. I mean, it's been a lifelong passion of mine. I hope to, I'll be, my wife gives me a hard time all the time. She's like, that's all you care about is firearms. I'll be doing firearm stuff till the day they put me in the ground, I'm sure. So,
Yeah. No, I
Well,
mean, so like with you collecting that, just one little, I guess, fun fact for me, I actually have some sand from the beach at Normandy. Like
oh, wow, that's
I
awesome.
took that because I was like, I just wanted a piece of our history so
Yep.
bad, Yeah, I'll never be able to obviously relive that because that's way back, well before my time. But I wanted something of our history, so I'm not really big into the old firearms, but that was kind of like, I guess, my little tidbit from it. Besides old patches and stuff like that from old army units that don't exist anymore or anything like that. So,
Yeah. Yeah, my wife
that,
and I, speaking of Normandy, we've talked about taking a trip over there and visiting Normandy. So she'd actually like to go back to France and visit the better parts of France, unlike Paris. And
mm,
so Normandy is one of those.
right.
If we can swing it, I'd really like to go there just to kind of,
Yeah.
see just be where a very historical event occurred. So.
Yep.
that's
Uh,
definitely really
yeah, we
cool.
got
It's
some
funny that you
questions.
say that you got into firearms because of your dad growing up, and I started off the same way. Uh, I never did join the military. I'll be the first to admit it, but firearms have always been a passion of mine too since growing up. So, would you say that you were a better shot before joining the Navy or after?
Well, I would say, it's hard to say. I mean, the Navy did not make me a better shot. Let me just make that clear right here. We had to do quals for just qualifications for watch standing and security team stuff like that. We very rarely ever got a chance to shoot for precision or for marksmanship medals and stuff like that. I mean, I am an expert pistol. I got my expert pistol medal from the Navy. But that was never really the focus, especially on a shipboard because everything is so close quarters. They didn't really focus on that as long as you pass qualification. So the Navy did not assist me one bit with being a better shot. I will say the competition shooting that I've done over the years, a little bit when I was in high school, and then also after I got out of the Navy. I did for quite a few years. I did service rifle competitions with both 20-inch AR-15s and M16, style service rifle, as well as the M1 Garand. So, and even after that experience, I'm still not. I'll be the first to tell you, I am not the best shot. I do okay, but there's so many better shooters out there than I am. Matter of fact, my oldest daughter shot competition with me, and she always beat me.
That's
So
funny. So what's funny is how all these Instagram influencers like to, well, not all of them, but some of them like to be like the perfect shot, and they're always good at everything every time. At least you're able to admit that, hey, I may not be the best out here, and I mean that's a good thing, because you could always fake it till you make it, especially on there.
oh yeah,
Nah, I mean, that's awesome though. I mean, like Sarge said, a lot of people won't even. I mean, I don't get as much trigger time as I like to anymore, and I hope I'm still good at the range right now. But I know I'm probably not as good as I was before. But yeah,
You
I've
know what I'm gonna
seen.
say?
Yeah, get the mantis and
Just train, do some
assert.
dry
Yeah,
fire. That's all you need is
yeah.
the
Dry fire
fundamentals.
is,
yeah,
I mean, even if you don't got time to go to the range, or money for ammo or whatever, you don't want to, or you don't want to shoot all your ammo. I actually have a couple of the Mantis products. I did a review on the Mantis X Blackbeard
Yeah,
not too long ago, and that thing is for an AR platform. That thing is absolutely
it's
phenomenal
great.
for training.
Yep.
And even still, I don't dry fire nearly as much as I should, because I'm being pulled in a lot of different directions, with other things. But I'll tell you that just doing a little bit of dry fire makes a lot of difference.
Yep.
I noticed a difference last couple of times I've been to the range and doing some, doing some AR shooting, that Blackbeard has been pretty helpful for me.
Yeah. No, I mean, another way I supplement too is I love the SIRT pistol. SIRT pistol is, to
mm,
me, the perfect training pistol. I mean,
Yep.
it shoots a laser. You're getting your trigger pull. You can get your trigger press, your take up, and
Hmm.
then you get the squeeze if you put it on the 2 dots, so that way you can see it. So getting that and then pairing it up with your computer and doing some shot timer stuff. I mean, there's so much you can get out of it just by taking that extra step. And yeah, it costs money, of course, but it's a lot cheaper. Like, I'm in that pistol, and then all the stuff. I'm about what, a case of 9 mil and maybe a half case of 5.56 223. So,
Yep.
and that's it. And then I've got unlimited. I mean, I think it's 50,000 to kill the battery, but it's a CR123, so
Yeah.
no, it's not bad
it's
at
not
all.
hard to get, at least.
Yep.
Yeah,
Now I
yeah,
also have the Manus Academy, which is for a pistol. The only thing I don't like about it is that in order to, you have to manually rack the slide for every round, which kind of stinks.
right.
I wish they had something you know uh, for pistols, kind of like the Blackbeard X. But I understand
Yeah.
now there is a system that, and I can't think of the name of it off the top of my hand, but there is one that uses a gas charge for cycling your slide. And it's a lot more
The cool
money.
fire, I've
I
seen
think
that.
so. Yeah, and
The
it looks
cool
pretty
fire though,
slick.
you have to worry about. So the way it's set up, it's a barrel setup, right?
Yep.
And you
It
screw
is.
the little, I guess the laser part on, but you have to fill it with gas, and I think it's only good for like maybe 15 shots or something like that, and then you got to take it back out, refill it.
Okay, I
So
wasn't
it,
sure how the longevity of it, but yeah,
yeah.
I mean
So you
that.
have to worry about that, and then every time you're taking it out, the rings and all that stuff. I mean,
Yep.
it's just it's hard to get that good training. And I mean, I've seen it where they have airsoft pistols that are gas blowback that you
Yep.
can use, and then put an adapter, but that's a whole different setup. But you can actually put a different barrel in it, or buy it as a setup like that, so you get, I guess, that recoil, felt
Yeah.
recoil.
Yeah, they have some airsoft that are like, the same weight and feel,
Hmm.
as like a Glock 19 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yep.
that I have considered getting something like, I'm a really if I had to pick and choose between what I'm better at than the other, I'm definitely better a rifle shooter than a pistol shooter, just because competition shooting, and it's been quite some years since I competition shot, um, pistols, I've always struggled. I definitely didn't
Yeah.
shoot a lot of pistols growing up either. It was always rifles and
Right.
shotguns and stuff like that.
Yep. So we had this question, and this happened back when you were talking about some of your firearms that you really like, as far as the M1 and things
Yep.
like that. So this question's for you. What's the one you like the most?
Well, I always tell folks, if I had to get rid of absolutely everything I own, one of my M1 Grands would be the only one left. I just absolutely love those things. I've owned a lot of them. I think I've owned 6 over the years. I'm down to 2. I kind of kept the 2 most favorite. I guess I have 2 daughters, and my plan is, hey, one for each of them at some point. But the M1 Grand would have to be. I mean, I love ARs. I love some of my bolt guns. I love my K31 straight pull.
Right.
I got some AKs. I have a fondness for those. A little different fondness though. I wouldn't say I'm an AK guy, even though I got a few. But the M1 Grand for sure. It's just a marvelous firearm. And what I found out shooting. So I have 2. I have one that's all correct Springfield. That's kind of a, like, I shouldn't really shoot it because it's actually pretty valuable. It is post war, but being all correct and very low rounds on it. I have a World War II one that's been through rebuilds and stuff like that. That one I shoot competition with. And what I found shooting competition with the M1 Garand is that it's a tough gun to shoot competition with.
I can
And
only imagine.
if you get good at that, going back to the 20-inch M16 or AR-15, it's like a cakewalk because you really can appreciate the ergonomic advancements of the AR platform over,
Mm-hmm.
what our forefathers used in World War II.
Yeah.
But the M1 Grand for sure would be the one I would definitely,
Yeah, definitely.
hold on to.
Definitely. I understand
Yeah.
that piece.
I mean, I would wonder, like, doing competition with the old school 30-06, how does that feel at the end of the match?
For service rifle competitions, we are wearing shooting jackets. So, you're soaking up the recoil in that jacket. And they are, ball ammo. I ran
Yeah.
a whole bunch of surplus ammo, Greek HXP. Yeah, it does thump a good bit, but again, when you're wearing, you're kind of wearing a shooting jacket and stuff, it's not so bad. It's just hard I would say that to get back on target for follow-up shots, especially during the rapid fire strings, is a
Mm-hmm.
little rough, because it's just, it does jump a heck of a lot more than it. So for comparison, my 20-inch AR has like 3 pounds of lead in the stock, and it has a heavy barrel. That thing don't move at all when you shoot it because it's so freaking heavy.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
rifle probably
yeah.
weighs, I don't know what it weighs. It probably weighs 12, 13 pounds.
Jeez.
So it's heavy. The Garand, I think, actually weighs less than my AR,
Wow.
because there's no extra lead, no extra weight to it.
Yeah.
You can put a little bit of lead in the butt stock where the cleaning kit goes, but that's it. But it's still way less weight is what you can add to the A2 stock on the M16.
Right. No, I agree. I mean, and the cool thing about the M16 being a 20-inch gun, you've got rifle length gas, you've got a really good buffer. So the felt recoil on that is it's next to nothing.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure.
it's definitely a good gun if you're wanting to get into the AR platform and you're not really sure about it. 20-inch, you can't go wrong. You're going to be hitting
Yeah, the
for sure.
20-inch. Matter of fact, I have plans to build a. I want to build a like a Iraqi war 20-inch kind of clone with the quad rail, and
Okay,
a front
so
side post. I have an ACOG sitting here waiting for it. So as soon as I
yeah,
just gotta I got to go through and kind of build. But I want to build. That's kind of one of the builds I've been thinking about for a few years. So I'm wanting to do that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so you're basically putting together an M16A4
Yep.
with the quad rail. Like
Yep.
me, I had an M16A2, and then we mounted the aim point onto the actual carry handle, so
For
it
sure.
went down in front of it, so you could co-witness through instead of co-witness under it. It was really
Yeah.
strange, but it was new at the time, and that's what they came up with. But I mean, I missed that thing. And then when they gave us rails for it too, I was like, oh yeah, this is perfect. And I got this broom handle, and I was like, I don't like holding it like that. So I started adjusting my grip to where it is now, where it's
Yeah.
just this part of my hand is touching the actual grip.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
so my daughter, so both my match right. Well, okay, so one of them was my daughter's, and she's 26, fixing to get married, so she has it. She actually just took her rifles out of my safe recently, which is nice because it gave me more room. But she has an A2, basically a national match A2 with the fixed carry handle. They're both Rock River arms, and then
right.
I have an A4 version. That's a flat top with a carry handle upper for that. But yeah, the carry handle uppers are so hard to get. And like I said, I got
Yeah,
the ACOG sitting there, so I'm like, well, it's going to be a M16A4 style, I reckon. Like I
yeah,
said, with a quad rail, I'd like to get a Knights Armament quad rail, but again, those things are so hard to find. I'm probably going to end up with a Centurion Arms or something like that.
yeah,
So it'll be a little bit of a kind of a retro mod style.
yeah.
20 inch, but it'll be close enough for me.
I mean, me, I go straight new school because I don't like the weight anymore. I'm like, I don't want all that weight on the front of the gun anymore. So I've already got a laser and a light and all that stuff. So it's like, why do I want anything else heavier on there?
Yeah.
But that's cool. No, that would be
Uh,
awesome, man. I'd love to have like a crossed AK and a whether that's a M16 A2 or AR-15 or whatever we have to call it, but a clone. That would
Yep.
be pretty cool to just have crossed up with my Iraqi flag or anything else I have from
Oh
that
yeah.
I've brought back with me. But yeah, maybe later.
uh, so, Christian, we were just recently talking about patches yesterday, and Ron must know that you like patches. So, his question is, what is the coolest patch you have in your collection?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'd have to run and grab my patch collection. And kind of that'd be and this may sound a little kind of cheesy since we're both BOP guys, but I'll tell you, I worked for quite a while to get into the BOP, and I got to say that's one of my biggest accomplishments in
Yeah.
regards to social media type stuff. So I got to go with my BOP patch. I mean, I carry one on my backpack every day. I have one on my
Mhm.
pack along with American flag. I don't carry any other patches every day. So, but I do have a lot of cool patches. Ron, I got a patch from Ron. He's got a really awesome patch and logo, and a lot of other folks.
Yeah.
But as far as the one that's got the most kind of sentimental value, if you want to call it that, would be my BOP patch. I mean, that thing,
Yeah,
again, I worked really hard. Um,
Yeah, it's
to
an earn patch, so it means a lot
it
more
is.
when you
exactly,
earn it, you
exactly.
know?
That's a
Yeah.
lot. That's
I
exactly it.
and I completely understand how you feel because I feel the same way. As you can see, like all my lives always have the Brownells flag and the BOP flag behind it. It's
Yep.
a real honor to be part of the crew. The crew. I'm sorry, but we were talking about all the firearms that you own, like all the cool antique and historic firearms you own. But I was wondering if you, what is one gun that you would want for the fun of owning it, like that you don't have right now?
Oh, for the fun of owning it. Well, I mean, I think most people probably would say a Barrett 50 cal. So I mean, that opens up like Pandora's box, because it's like, okay, I mean, could I say like a
You could say whatever you want. MG32,
yeah. I
whatever you
mean,
want.
I gotta say it would have to be honest to God, Thompson. A
Yeah.
full auto variant,
I
like
I
an old one, not
feel the
like one of
same
the
way.
new ones.
Yeah.
And I've shot one. I shot one that belonged to a friend of mine that owned a gunsmithing business down the road. He actually closed up and moved up to Virginia a while back. But the Thompson it's a heavy tank of a gun. You look at it, it doesn't look like it's all that heavy, and then you hold it, it's so freaking heavy.
But
And
it's so accurate.
yeah, it don't recoil. I mean, you think at
Yeah.
full auto that it's gonna, run away from you, and it doesn't.
No.
It's a cool. I gotta say, a full auto, like historic, old
So
Thompson, that would be if I could have anything.
yeah, and I will tell you this: I did a Governor's 20 shooting match for the guard, and they brought out an actual one museum. They showcase it and all that stuff, but it comes out to every match as a historic thing because it's been that way since they started doing those kind of matches. So we got to actually take it out, shoot it, and it was part of the match where we had 5 targets, 5 steel targets, and you had to knock them down before the end of that mag.
Oh well, oh, that's
So
awesome.
and you're zipping it. So you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I squeeze off 2 or 3 rounds at a time instead of just letting it rip? Because they only give you stick mags; they're not giving us drums.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. I love it.
We have similar tastes because just the other week when I was on the Rogue Banshee show, he asked me a similar question, and I had to say the Thompson. It's just a cool piece of history.
It is
But
for sure.
outside of making content, I mean,
Sorry.
what? Oh, yes, Thompson with the drum mags. It's just
Yep.
yes. It's just all the cool old school gangster videos too, the movies too, and
Mm-hmm.
just all the World War I movies. You just see it's just a part of American
Yeah.
history.
It's an American icon for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The Thompson.
So, Christian, outside of making content, what are some of your hobbies?
Well, I love to hunt. Um, I'm a pretty avid hunter. I mean, I'm not a good hunter. I have a lot of
Uh,
years where it's a lot of work to get anywhere, but I enjoy doing it. I enjoy being outside and braving the elements and kind of looking around, for critters. I mean, I whitetail deer hunt for the most part, but I do every couple years I head out to Colorado and try to hunt elk. And I've been out there 4 times, trekking around the mountains, 10,000 feet elevation where you can hardly freaking breathe. And I'm not in that great a shape. So it always about kills me when I go out there. But I love to hunt. That's one of my big things. I also have always been into cars. So I've had quite a few different vehicles, and I like to work on. My dad was a mechanic, so I grew up. I was a mechanic's son and learned how to work on cars and stuff. And when I first graduated high school and joined the military, I had no money. So I had to, by necessity, I had to do everything myself, brakes and, radiator stuff. And, yeah, it's, I mean, I'm pretty much self-taught,
Mm-hmm.
matter of fact, this past week, I've been working on, you've probably seen some of the pictures of that old blue 96 F-150. I know I've posted some pictures of that thing on my Instagram and stuff. I've been working on that. That truck belonged to my dad, and after he passed away in 2017, it was kind of, my dad had already given it to me before he passed. He passed suddenly, but he had already kind of given it to me, and I hadn't brought it up from Florida. But but yeah, so I've been working on that this week. So, and actually today it was my dad's birthday. He would have been 69. So, it's kind of cool to, be working on his old truck and stuff like that on his birthday. But yeah, vehicles, hot rodding, I've had Mustangs. I used to do a little bit of drag stripping 20 years ago with the little Shelby Dodge cars, the 2225 turbo cars. They're not super fast, but they're they were a lot of fun to tinker with and stuff, and not a lot of those even around anymore. I mean, most of those things are in the scrapyard, I would say. Um, Going fast, tinker on cars. Let me see what else I like. Computers. I mean, I used to do a lot more computer stuff than I do now. I don't have the time. Computers, I always tell folks, are kind of a time eater. If you're working on a computer before you know it, 5 hours has went by. So, and I just don't have the luxury of that kind of time. So I've kind of gotten away from computer work. That and the fact that I had everybody under the sun knocking on my door to work on their stuff. So I just had to kind of curtail that a little bit. But yeah, I like to work on things. So, I mean, whether it be firearms, vehicles, electronic type stuff. I mean, I just like to, just kind of get my hands in and figure out how stuff works and see what I can make better or fix or what have you. So
that's cool. That's definitely different than what I was thinking, especially if you like the old firearms and stuff like that. I figured you'd be into more of the restoration of those and stuff like that. So that's cool. It's good to know these kind of things because I'm still going through your content and trying to figure out because it's a lot,
most of my content on Instagram, like I said, is most of that is firearm related, but I do have quite a few videos that are some hunting videos. I have some car related, off-roading. So I do off-road a little bit, not super seriously, not very often, but I like to go off-road a little bit because I got a Raptor. So I like to drive that thing, the way it was intended.
Definitely.
But yeah, I put out some non-firearm stuff, like I said, mostly on my YouTube channel, and then some pictures here and there on Instagram.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, it's good to be well-rounded. I'll say that.
Yeah. I mean, I just learned a lot more about you right now with you telling me. I knew you liked. I mean, obviously, I knew you liked firearms. I've seen a lot of your hunting photos on Instagram too, which I've seen some nice bucks on your page. I also want to wish your father a happy heavenly birthday for 3. And man, it seems like the more people I talk to in the 2A community that are into firearms, that like to get hands-on with firearms, they like working with their hands outside of the firearms realm too. So Christian, what made you decide to start a YouTube channel? It took me a while to even think about creating mine. So what made you decide?
So that's kind of a little bit of an interesting story. So a couple things kind of all came to pass. So kind of going back to when I got out of the Navy, my job, I was hired by a medical company. I actually worked for Siemens, the healthcare side, and I work on X-ray equipment, neurology labs, cardiac labs, and stuff like that. And so I was offered a job after 11 years with the company to be a trainer, a teacher, to teach people how to fix this equipment that I had been fixing for 11 years. And so I actually lived up in Cleveland for about the 11 years, which everybody up there is like, "You're from Florida. What are you doing in Cleveland?" So that was kind of the response I got all the time. But anyway, so when I had the opportunity to be an instructor, it took me down here to North Carolina, which is, a lot closer to where I grew up. My wife's from Virginia. I'm from the north part of Florida. So teaching, because I'm very introverted, teaching kind of put me out there. So I'm having to stand in front of people and tell them how to do stuff and show them how to do stuff. And that kind of kind of got the gears turning as far as like, hey, I can do a little more with this. And my dad passed away in 2017. I kind of was looking for kind of subconsciously a way to just focus my energy and my thoughts on. So that's kind of where I started doing the YouTube, was around that time, was right after my dad passed away. I was watching a lot of folks, and Hank Strange. I watched his podcast every night. I went to some events. So I live pretty close to where Mike, Mr. Guns and Gear, lives. He's down here by me.
Okay.
Twang and Bang. I don't know if you may not remember him. He ain't been doing nothing in quite a few
No,
years, but
it's
he's
been a while.
local. And then some Brandon Herrera actually was local to me. Him and I used the same gunsmith. So,
Mm,
but anyways, went to some events where they had at my gun club, and Brownells did the road show many years ago, and that's how I first found out about the BOP. Was Brownells did the road show, and one of the stops was in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And I went down there and met Josh Coburn, and of course Mike, Mr. Guns Gear, was there, which I had met him previously. Same with Brandon Herrera, but met Hank Strange for the first time, and just kind of that all happened around the same time. And it kind of I just started doing videos. I just was like, I can put some of my energy towards something, and I know a lot of people would do it with the goal of making all this money or making money. But I always tell folks, I say, look, monetization, that's all fine and good. That's never my focus. My focus was just to have a good time, share with folks, learn from other folks. And I always tell people, I'll keep doing it as long as I'm enjoying it. YouTube's making it really hard right now to enjoy it. I will say that,
yeah.
but at least firearm content. But yeah, that's pretty much that's how I got into it. It was kind of a weird way to get into it, but
Yeah.
Nah,
But
I get it though.
you yeah, I mean, you're right 100%. Like, everything's much harder, and that's why I'm really nervous about it, and I'm getting all my stuff together and making sure it's good, and making sure not perfect, but making sure that as soon as I come out the gate and drop a video, they're not like, strike,
yeah,
So it's really really tough,
it
because
is. And
especially now.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's not gotten easier. So my channel, I mean, you get monetized after 1,000 subscribers and so many views. And as soon as I
Yeah.
hit 1K subscribers, I already had plenty of views. It was not a problem.
Right.
The monetization though is I'm almost at the point where I may just totally demonetize my channel, because it's just not worth the hassle. Every video I upload, if I even say any word in the video regarding firearms, they demonetize it, and then I have to apply for an appeal. I normally win the appeal, but it's just frustrating,
Yeah.
and
But
and I don't make any money. I mean, I think my revenues went down over half in the last few months, and I think they've changed the way they do some things with that.
yeah.
I think right now for this month, I get like $27. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I can buy a box of ammo, right? So,
Yeah.
so it's not doing anything for me. I mean, and that's what I never intended to do it for the money, because I didn't think it would be a money maker for me anyways. But it's still frustrating that YouTube does whatever they can to smash.
Right.
I mean, previously to the last month or so, I was making like $60 a month. And I get 2 boxes of ammo, right? So now I'm cutting down a
Yep.
box of ammo.
Yep.
So
Pretty much. Well, I mean, like, I'm seeing where people are getting slammed because they loaded a magazine or
yep.
screwed on a suppressor, and it's like, okay, any idiot can figure that out. You can find that on Google. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
a lot of people got hit. So basically, YouTube's mindset on this, and I don't want to get too much off on the tangent on that, but they're like, if you insert a magazine, you're modifying the firearm. If you thread a suppressor on, you're modifying the firearm. And that's the mindset that they're coming from. It's like, wait a second, what else would you do with a magazine than put it in the firearm? And they try to say, well, it's only 30 plus round mags. Well, there's a lot of magazines that look like they might hold 30 rounds, but they don't. For example, an AR-15 with that's a 22 rimfire, those are only 25 round mags.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to leave it up to YouTube to distinguish between what's a 30 round or what's a 25 round.
Yeah.
Because they're just going to hammer you. So I had to go back. I actually just deleted 40 plus videos off my channel because I was like, you know what? And some of them I couldn't modify. You can't modify shorts after they're uploaded. And there's some of them I was able to regular full length videos. I was able to blur out some stuff, but some of them had, if you're a competition shooter and you're doing transitions and mag changes, you're screwed because they're going to hammer you. So I just think it's just a slow, painful death to firearm related channels here on YouTube. Yep. I think personally they should their ultimate goal is to get rid of us and ban anything firearm related.
Just come out and say it.
Yeah, they should just do it and delay and stop, giving us the slow, painful death that we're having.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I've already jumped over to Utreon and Rumble. I encourage everybody that's firearm related to do the same thing. Because I think this is the year that will pretty much is going to spell the end for the majority of firearm. And now, unless you want really watered down stuff, that's the problem, is that I want to show what I know and learn from others. But if I can't show anything, there's the satisfaction that I had previously is very much gone. So.
Yeah.
So I have to find other avenues to share that. Like I said, Rumble and Utreon, I can, those are free speech platforms for the most part. So
yeah.
And the sad part is that I always mention this, but the sad part is they don't grandfather videos that you've already uploaded prior to them changing their mind. So there's been plenty of people that have gotten hit from videos that they published maybe 5 years ago.
Yep. I got hit on one of mine. Yep. So, I got hit on one of mine from a couple 2-3 years ago as well. And it was a video that they tried to say that I was showing how to modify a firearm. I was just talking about actually an AR that I put together for hunting, and I didn't show anything. I talked about it. I said, look, these are the parts I kind of selected for this. And they struck me on it, and then I appealed it, and they nope. And there's no dialogue with them guys. They don't tell you specifically. Like if they said, okay, at this time point in your video, this is the problem we're having. No, they just say, no, it doesn't meet our criteria, and you're getting a warning or I got a warning because it was my very first time. And I've been kind of purging my channel of anything since then. But like I said, it's just, and with the recent stuff with the mag changes and the adding a suppressor, and optics, that's the other thing. You can't add an optic on video, or that's also modifying. So it's nuts.
I didn't realize that. I gotta go and look at these it's tough because I got a warning, and it was on a video that I had published, just simply showing how to clean your firearm. And they took it down. They gave me a warning, but I was like, what's wrong with educating people on how to take care? Like, if I was to put a video on how to do an oil change on your vehicle, or how to change your brake pads, or something like that,
it's not a firearm.
No problem. So yeah, but what's wrong with educating people about
actually
firearms?
Maintenance is actually allowed. You can show gun maintenance, but you got to be very explicit about it. And I would encourage you, if you're showing gun maintenance, try to curtail how much of the disassembly and reassembly you show.
So yeah, that's what I was going to go into. That's going to be my first set of content. But what I'm going to do is you're going to see it, and then you're going to see it broken down, and boom, go
Yep.
straight into it. This
Yeah.
is what I clean. This is how I do it. You know what I'm saying? So it
They
gives
don't want
people,
you showing anything
yeah,
that's got any sort of
yeah,
how to take
yeah,
apart or put together.
no,
Even if
and
it's for maintenance,
it's yeah, it's terrible because somebody's going to say, well, that's what it's supposed to look like, but what is it? And then it looks like this when you're done. So they're going to get confused. It's not going to make sense. So,
yep.
Yeah.
all right.
Well,
I don't want to
that was,
stick too long because I know we got some things that we
yeah.
got to do. We got some questions to get through. So, but it's definitely been good talking about this because people need to have this conversation outside
Yeah.
of here and really understand
Yeah.
that
Yep.
some of us are looking for other platforms. I mean, I've got a Rumble up, and I'm going to dual post on that as soon as I start pushing
Yep.
content. So,
Yeah. Um, one more big question that we have for you is you've been doing this YouTube thing for a while and you've kind of gone through the growing pains. What advice would you give to fellow content creators just starting?
Oh gosh. Well, I would say be yourself. That's probably the biggest thing that advice I can give is don't um you know don't try to emulate others, because what folks want to see is they want to see the uniqueness of the different channels, and that's they want to see variety. They don't want to see the same thing. I mean, we like, us as humans, we like to see we don't like to get bored, so we like to see different stuff. So
yeah,
I would, uh number one, be yourself. Uh Number two, um you can look for some inspiration, as far as talking points and stuff like that. Um, but I mean, and I would say don't get wrapped up on having to have everything under the sun to make 100%, movie quality videos. First off, I mean, even mine are not movie
yeah,
quality. you know I mean, all that stuff will come. Don't run out and go broke trying to buy everything under the sun. Get yourself, half decent light. And honestly, most of my videos are done using iPhones. I don't even use
yeah.
for my stills. I use a nice camera, but for video, most of the time I'm using the phones these days. Take so good. The videos are so good that
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to spend all that money on, crazy cameras and all that stuff. Um, you know, get yourself a half decent tripod. I mean, when I say half decent, like there's many $50 tripods out there that are good, to hold your phone or whatever. But you don't have to go broke buying a ton of stuff. You
Yeah.
really don't. So
No, I agree. I mean, you always want to start out, and you want the best. Like that's first and foremost in my mind. I was like, I gotta get a really good camera, and I was like, I got an iPhone. It has a
yep.
really good camera. I
Which
got a
iPhone do you
GoPro.
have, by the way?
14, the
Yeah, so
Pro
your
Max.
iPhone's 2 series better than mine. I got an iPhone 12 Max, a
Yeah,
Pro
I mean,
Max.
so before that, I was running an 11.
I have an 11 as well that I
Yeah.
run, and like I said,
So
they're great. But the 14's awesome, man.
yeah,
Shoot, I wish I had a 14. My wife won't let me get one.
yeah. No, I had to get one when I decided to take this a little bit more seriously.
Gotcha.
Definitely.
I started off with an Android, a cheap little tripod,
Yep.
and a $5 ring light.
Yep.
That's all I had. I was like, I'm not gonna invest in it right now. Just let me play around with it, see how it goes.
Yeah.
And somehow, like, I I got I got views, and my most popular view has been my very first video with all the cheap stuff that I used, which is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, he just
But I
says
mean, if
switch
it
to
works, it
Samsung.
works. Yeah. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
don't
He
fix it
just
if it
come
ain't
in.
broke. I mean, I just now, so I've been doing YouTube for about 5 years, I guess, and I just now got some wireless lapel mics after
Oh,
I mean, after quite a few years of using a wired mic or using just what's on the phone.
mhm,
um I finally got really nice. Actually, my youngest daughter got it for me for Christmas. She got me these Rode Go 2 wireless mics, and they're nice. I mean, it's like, man, I got something new I can play with and learn about, and the audio quality um, is substantially better than what I had been using my wired lapel mic.
mhm.
But yeah, I mean, you don't need all that stuff to start.
Yeah.
Just kind of just get your groove down. Have half decent phone and
Hmm.
maybe a little bit of lighting and stuff, and get your groove down. Then you can fine tune that other stuff.
Right.
As you get into it.
Yeah. No, and the
Yeah.
hard part for me has been it's like, okay, I want to get two different angles on my videos, right?
Yep.
Especially if I'm doing something on the bench or whatever. So it's like, how do
Oh
I
yeah.
get that overhead? So I've been doing a ton of research on trying to figure out what the best way to get a good overhead shot that I can kind of monitor and see what's going on. So that way I can be like, okay, yeah, I'm good. I'm still in
So
stream, making sure.
that just made me laugh because if you go back and look at my videos from 3, 4 years ago, my tabletop or benchtop videos, uh, I used one of my iPhones and I actually set it on top of a wire shelf above my bench
Mm.
and just positioned it to where the camera would see through the
Was through
wire.
the hole.
So, I mean, I didn't even have a
That's
stand or
pretty funny.
nothing. I mean, that was pretty basic stuff. Now I got
Yeah,
tripods, galore and all that stuff.
right.
But yeah, I mean, there's lots of ways around spending money on stuff for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean it's good. It's good to hear those things too. Definitely good to hear those things because I'm so new that I'm trying to learn from everyone else, and I think that's the best part about this community and all the people that I meet. Like everybody's been helpful. They've kind of guided me in all kinds of directions. So
Oh yeah,
it's helpful to have other people's opinions and all that stuff. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's one of the things that I've noticed that all the folks here, in the gun tubes, as you will, are always pretty open and helpful.
right,
About things. I mean, heck, I was messaging Mister Hootie Hoo the other day about some questions about some monetization questions about videos and what he does, because he does a lot of hunting videos, and I had
right,
uploaded a hunting video, and they demonetized it like right off the bat, and I was like, what the heck, and I
yeah,
asked him how he does his, and he says, well, he just re-uploads them. If they demonetize it, he just re-up, and it's like a crapshoot. Sometimes they demonetize it, sometimes they don't. So that was that. I mean, from somebody that has 400 something thousand subscribers, like I messaged him and within minutes he got back to me and it was
yeah,
like, talking to me. Everybody's willing to help everybody. I've never had
hmm,
Mike, Mr. Guns of Gear, I've had questions for him and he's helped me out.
yeah.
Lots of folks. Do y'all know Mr. Big Kid?
For he's
Steve?
TatCon's guy, right?
What's that?
He's TatCon's guy, right? Tactical considerations, like they hang out.
Yep. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I was a subscriber of his when he was sub 500 subs.
Okay.
And I told him from the beginning, he actually is very good at what he does, and his video quality. He had been, I think, doing stuff with videography and photography for quite a few years. But I told him, I said, man, you should definitely are going to go somewhere with this. And now he's over
Hmm.
200,000 subscribers. I mean, really good guy too. And that's another one. I can reach out to him anytime, and it's he will answer my questions or help me any way he can, and everybody across the board has been like that. So
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, even for me, I met tactical considerations through Ralph, Piety Ralph,
okay,
and um, Mike's been cool. If I need something, like we sat one night, we talked about that on the live, trying to figure out why my plate wasn't working for my PDP.
Mm-hmm.
And then we come to find out when you stick the screws for the optic through it, you got to cut them off and then pull them out, and it rethreads them, and then it's good to go.
Oh, wow.
So it fits. It's just the way that one was made. There's no recess. So you drop the plate on, screw it on, and then if you try to tighten down the optic,
Mm-hmm.
it won't do it. It'll get stopped. So I was like, what is going on with this? This thing's a piece of crap. I mean, it's a great gun. I love it. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of my favorites. But that was my thoughts at first, was like, well, if you have to do all this
he's
work,
a pretty sharp
why?
dude. I've never talked to him
Yeah.
outside of conversating on his some of his videos and stuff.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He's a sharp guy. Definitely. If you got I've never thought to reach out to him on a particular question, but that's good to hear. He's also open to help. And Steve also, because I think him and Steve hung out a lot back when Steve lived in Arizona. They got together and shot a lot. Same with Jonathan Tactical Toolbox.
Oh yeah, they were hanging out at SHOT Show together.
Yep. So that's good to hear.
Yeah. No, he's a good dude, and I'm glad to have met him, because we kind of do the same. He's former military, law enforcement, stuff like that. So we run in the same circles as far as the job stuff goes. So,
and he looks like he works out about 5 hours a day too.
Oh yeah, that's a big dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to get there. That's why I look like the Incredible Hulk up top. I try not to skip like leg day. I promise you, but.
I gotta look into that guy's page, because it's crazy. Like the gun tubers have grown so much that it's hard to keep up with all of them at this point.
There's a lot of depth out there for sure.
Well, he even said that. He was like, I miss out on so much content because I'm out trying to, do my own and all that stuff. A lot of people say that. I mean, it really comes down to time, and there's so many people coming out. You want to support everybody, but it's hard.
I will say that's it couldn't be a truer statement. I feel kind of guilty. There's a lot of people that I follow that I have pretty good relationship with over the years, and I try to always watch their videos, but I only have so much time in the day, and
right.
And when I was earlier on, I kind of sometimes people, I'd watch their videos and they wouldn't necessarily watch mine, but I get it. As I've grown and done more, it's like I understand, and I don't begrudge anybody if they don't have time to watch all my videos. That's fine. I get it, because there's just only so much time in the day, and if you're creating content, you can't create content and then watch a bunch of content. It's just it's hard. It's really hard. But
yep, I agree. Do we have any more questions besides this, Panda?
So what is your go-to Plinkin 22? Is that a question for me specifically, Ron?
I would say probably.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh man. So I don't have a ton of 22s, which is kind of sad, actually. I did some 22 shooting last weekend with an old Ruger 1022 that I had that I put together from years ago. But I would say my go-to plinking 22 is got to be I have a 4.5-inch barrel dedicated AR-22 upper that I assembled many years ago. And that sucker with a suppressor slapped on my SBR lower with a binary trigger is absolutely freaking nuts to shoot. That is my favorite plinker. It's got a red dot on it. It doesn't weigh nothing, and it makes no noise. And with a binary, you can zip through that 25 round mag pretty dang quick. So.
Yeah,
I would love to play with a binary trigger,
man. That sounds like fun. I'm not gonna lie.
And I have some videos on that 22. If you go back, I think it's like Ultimate 22 AR or something like. I can't remember. I did a video on that setup years ago.
I'll have to check it out, because that sounds like a ton of fun. You can never. I feel like the 22 is the funnest range toy anybody could bring out everyone is gonna have a blast with it.
Yeah, I agree. That's a fun one for sure.
Yeah, we were shooting
Well,
out to 100 yards with a 1022 last weekend, and I hadn't done that in so long, and it was just so fun to go back to kind of basics with just regular marksmanship at 100 yards with a 22, and trying to hit small steel targets and stuff. That was a lot of freaking fun.
Yeah. There's another question.
Another fellow BOP agent, Adam Jagger.
Oh my gosh. Well, so all right, my current main squeeze is Mod Light. So
there you go. You got the answer. Now we want to know in the comments what's going to happen next. Let's keep this story going. Come on, Adam. Come through. He said yes.
Adam says yes.
Yeah, I like them.
The suspense.
I can't believe it took me this long to try Mod Light. And he was one of those that were kind of suggesting Mod Light. And I was like, you know what? I'm kind of a little fed up with Cloud Defensive with some of their recent stuff. So I was like, I'll go ahead and let me run a Mod Light. And man, it's pretty dang nice. I like it a lot. So I'll have a review out on that thing pretty soon. So kind of like a first impressions,
Awesome.
and some comparison with the Mod Light to Cloud Defensive.
Sweet. That'll be good. I mean, I'm going to say I like certain things from Cloud, and I have certain things from Mod Light that I like. So it depends.
Yeah, I'm a connoisseur of all things that are good, and they're both very good.
Definitely. So if it meets the purpose, definitely we want to make sure that we have what we need to do whatever it is we're doing, whether that's clearing buildings or personal protection or whatever. Because target identification is important, no matter what.
Oh, yeah, for
no
sure.
matter if you're Joe Blow civilian just walking down the street and you get approached, you got to be able to identify that target.
Yep.
So lights are definitely important. Did we have any more questions, Panda? Just making sure.
I think that's it. I think that's it. Now we gotta get.
Oh, you gotta love the people in the chat, right?
You do.
Oh, Ron Wayne.
So when you're 10 millimeter high point rise, you're going to be in the waistband. Oh, come on now. You got to live, Danish. You got to do that in the waistband.
Yeah, exactly, right? That's funny.
Well,
appendix at that.
Yes, appendix. AIWB. 100%.
Now,
pictures or it didn't happen.
High point or SIG P320 inside the waistband appendix.
Oh, no. Come on. We can't even play with that. Because I will show you all of mine work, and they don't go boom when they don't need to.
Well, that's because you actually put custom parts in yours.
If we have a second to sideline about, so are you a P320 fan? I take it.
No, I mean I like them, but I'm carrying Glocks.
Yeah, that's what I carry mostly is Glocks. Yeah, I actually had a pretty bad experience with a P320. I had an M17 that was great. I don't have any longer. I did quite a few videos on that pistol. I just never, over the Glock 19X, I just like the 19X better.
Yeah.
But I had a P320 full size. I actually picked it up used, and I sent it. It was right before the trigger recall was announced from SIG.
The warranty.
I sent it in for the trigger recall. I got it back, and on the second mag, I had an out of battery discharge.
Yeah.
And all the cases were bulging, so they're all being fired out of battery. Just one of them happened to kaboom, and it actually blew out the extractor. It cracked the frame. It blew back at me, and I sent it to SIG, and they tried to blame it on the ammo. And
Well, of course. I mean, who's going to want to admit that that's the reason why they cut the groove in the slide?
well, yeah, and I took it to my gunsmith, and he looked at it. He said, "Yeah, out about a discharge." And then I contacted the ammo manufacturer or distributor rather. And the funny thing is that only the cases, because I shot a few other handguns that day, only the cases out of the Sig P320 had case bulges. None of the other ones did. And when I got the shitty thing, they sent me back the P320, and they didn't even replace the grip module with the crack down the side of it.
Wow.
They sent it back with a cracked grip module. That's
Yeah,
how
that's
good
a
Sig,
no-go.
their
That's a
customer
no-go.
service
So
is.
yeah, I mean, I'm with you 100%. If it's something with the firearm, obviously, but I can tell you out of all the ones that I own currently that I've, checked. I mean, I've got an M17, but I've also got
Yeah.
several others. I got an X5 that was pre-warranty, and then I sent it to them, and they cut the groove, and it was good to go. Like I didn't have to worry about it, but.
So I mean, I don't have a problem with Sig necessarily, or they make good stuff. I just think the way
but
they
they're too
tried to blow
expensive.
it off was a little kind of, I don't know, it was just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I mean, I even shot that same, I still had ammo from that same case. I bought a whole case of it. It was 124 grain NATO spec ammo, and there's no reason that thing shouldn't shoot it. And I shot the same stuff through there. Guess what? No case bulges. After I got it back, there was something wrong with that pistol after the recall. That's because I had shot it a bunch before I sent in for the recall, and I had no problem. So, yeah, that was, But anyways, I got my eyeball on another Sig firearm, so I'm gonna have to put that past me. But
yeah,
it was a bad experience. I just hope I don't run into that again.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like Mike from TacCon says, Sig makes a good $500 firearm for $800. I mean, he's right. He's right.
Yeah,
it's true.
I mean, they are a little proud of their stuff, so.
Yeah, their magazines. I can't believe they can't get their magazines down.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, so on that, we gotta, I guess, end the stream and get this announcement out. So, if you want to tell them how they can reach you, whether it's through Instagram, they can find you on YouTube, wherever you're at, Twitter.
Yeah. So my main two things I'm at is here on YouTube, just Christian Grest. You can find me over on Instagram. I post a lot of stuff I'm coming up, going to be doing videos on. I'll post stuff like stills and maybe shorts early on Instagram a lot of times. So it's at Christian Grest. I'm also over on Rumble and Utreon. Again, Christian Grest, pretty easy. I don't have a very common name, so it's pretty easy to find me. So
okay, and again, we do have most of those links in our description below. So if any of our guests, if any of our audience wants to follow Christian, please go ahead and support him. As you can see from this live, he is an awesome guy, like down to earth, and loves to help people out. So,
all right. So, on that, thank you for coming. You can hang out with us if you want while we give this announcement, and then we'll end the show.
We got some exciting news for everybody.
Special guest star. And I had to post that. So you got some fans. There you go. All right, guys. We're going to bring in some special guests to announce this really quickly. I know someone else has a show, so I'm going to add him in first.
Hey. What's up, guys?
Ralph. What's up, man?
What's going on, brother?
Hey. Thanks for having me, man.
All right, we got P80 Ralph. We got the Shogun sleeping over there. He doesn't like to stay awake.
Hey, wake up.
And we got Benchies Go Boom.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, everybody?
So, boom room.
So all these guys are here for a reason. Okay, we couldn't get everybody. Hopefully, we can all have a get together after. Yeah, there you go. The titty. Hopefully we could all have a get together and have us all on here, but we wanted to announce that Freedom Crew University has gone live.
There it is.
Build with the best, as
Build
Benchy's
with the
balloon
best.
is showing.
Yeah.
And there you go. Perfect. Look at all these smiling faces.
Beautiful.
Beautiful Rogue Banshee, Marine Gun Builder, Flying Rich,
Look at that
DLD
beard.
After Dark.
Damn. That thing's
Look at
ready to
that.
burn.
So,
The Panda beard.
these guys are your instructors. I, however, I'm the marketing director, and I'm an instructor as well. I'm a chief instructor as well, but I'll be doing more privates. So if you want to get some purpose in your life, you can come see me. But the rest of these guys are going to teach you all the cool stuff. I'll just teach you how to use that stuff.
Right. Private stuff.
Yeah, the private stuff. The private stuff.
We've
So-
been
It's very,
we've
very
been work.
discouraging,
Go
huh?
ahead, Will. Yeah,
No, I'm just
we've been
involved.
working on getting this thing together for a
a
little
bit.
while now.
a couple months. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's been an exciting process, and we are all looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Ready to get out there? Ready for you guys to come join the classes? Hang out with us?
Learn these new P80s.
Yeah.
Or whatever they're going to be, P69s or whatever we decide to call them.
The P69. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely come join us. I know Ralph's got his show, and we'll be going over there. So make sure you come stop by. We're going to do the announcement as well over there. So
Yep.
definitely come check out Ralph's show. If you need to bounce, Ralph, you can.
And we're gonna
But I
be-
just wanted to make sure you made it on here,
Yeah.
and people knew that.
So, guys-
you were good.
We're good. I have these two guys coming on my show, so
Okay.
we got about 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
We can hang for a bit.
So, guys, quick little thing. We mentioned it earlier today on the live with Christian that YouTube is knocking really hard on content creators, especially if you want to teach the knowledge. And this is what Freedom Crew University kind of got the idea from. It's like, all right, well, we want to push the content. We know that there's a lot of students that want to learn, but they just don't have the videos anymore.
Yeah.
Well, now with Freedom Crew University, once you sign up, you are going to have us as personal teachers, instructors, to get that first time quality build together. Not just with Glocks, but not with P80s, but
Six.
also prints, ARs. We have
Yep.
SIGs,
Stippling. We have
1911s,
Shoguns.
stippling. And guys, if you haven't seen Shoguns like stippling like work, oh my god, man, it's beautiful.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Well,
I agree.
I know. I think I
Well-
could probably teach a little printing stipple a little bit better than Shogun stipple job.
Don't take my class, man. I'm telling you. Go to the boom boom room. Sorry, go to the boom boom room.
Right next door. Right next door.
On that giant ass couch.
Yeah.
Point like I stipple. I'm just all over the fucking place. No.
So the good news is you guys don't get to see either Ralph or Shogun eating right now, but in the next show you will. Oh, see, you had to do it. You had to do it.
Look,
Not the cashews.
I just ate. Okay, I'm trying to eat before live streams because that's what everyone always says. Ralph, why you always snacking? I'm like, well, I'm drinking a
Because
beer. I
you're
wanna eat
hungry.
chips, you know,
Yeah, you're hungry.
I'm
Right?
always-
Why not? It's your show.
it's not even hungry.
I'm always-
It's just sometimes you're drinking a beer, you want to eat some chips or some peanuts or some jerky, you know.
Hey, but look, guys, in all honesty, like the Panda Man was saying, we put a lot of work into this website, man. You know, our courses have a good outline to them. You have a materials list on everything you need for the classes. And we're ready to share everything we know with you guys. Sorry, I got food in my mouth.
So this was the big announcement. We appreciate you guys for coming. I know they got to bounce off. Did you get us the link, Ralph? so we can come over?
Yeah, of course.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't looked. I've been so busy. I'm sorry.
Well, you need to look because I did.
Okay. I got it.
Did I get one? Because come on, Ralph.
I mean, we can't include
Ralph,
you.
wait.
That beard, it's too majestical sometimes
Listen,
to keep
Hey,
up
we
with
have-
everything in the room.
look,
we
to
have
be
another
fair,
great beard today. We have Christian's beard here today. That's
Yeah,
that's
there you
awesome
go. Look
beard
at that.
right there.
it's got the full blown.
It is.
Not too bad. It's my winter
Missing that tracksuit though, Panda.
Oh, jeez. Come on. What do you guys say, Ralph?
I was gonna
To be
say
fair, what?
to be fair, Panda taught me how to groom my beard, so now my shit
Yes,
coming
he
in a
did.
little better. I'm putting oils
Look
and
at
balms
that.
and using the little brush and everything. I was like, you got to brush it, bro? I was like,
Yeah.
you brush your beard? I know that was a thing, bro.
Of course,
That's why
man.
my trend, but I don't really groom it. But I'll tell you, man, it is a lot of work. Yeah, mine's like, mine's just rough. You know what I'm saying? I just go rough now. It's just there. I got the Osama bin Laden look going. That's
Oh, jeez. You had to say that
Oh,
on the live? Come on, man. Of all things,
Sarge
you
killed Osama? Sarge, weren't you
When-
on that mission that killed Osama, Sarge?
come on. Me? No.
No,
Never.
he didn't die. He's right here.
Never.
Nah, that was my buddy.
I
But yeah,
used to
anyways, guys, Freedom Crew University is launching. Today is the official launch.
launched.
So go to freedomcrewuniversity.com. Make sure. What are you guys doing? Touching fingers? This is kind of gay.
They're doing finger touches.
Oh my god!
See what I deal with?
Can I join in here?
Yeah, I mean, you might as well at this point. We just poke everybody.
We're trying to make it serious here, Sarge. Make sure to go book your class today, guys. We have 3D printing courses. So if you've ever looked and thought about 3D printing and said, I don't know, it seems a little difficult. I don't trust the printed gun. Give the basic class a try. We will give you all the information you need to walk away from there with confidence, either knowing that you can move forward or knowing that it's out of your ballpark, because it is a lot to learn, man. You got to learn the new software. You got to learn how to build a printer. You got to calibrate it. So we're going to get you through all of that to be able to set up a printer. And if you want to go on a little further, we do offer advanced as well as intermediate classes. So that way we can, show you some one-on-one on building some cool stuff, some white.
Some freedom.
No, fast. Get out here.
guys.
Get my stream shut down. Jesus.
Right.
Get that screen shut down. Come on, show support.
My Nerf
trying to
gun?
get me-
I can't show Nerf.
No, you can't show Nerf.
Oh,
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. Maybe you just want to print little trinkets, like little shoes
There
or a
you go.
flower for your wife or a desk organizer. I don't know, man. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with printers,
suppressor sights.
Yeah.
sites. You can
Something.
print
You want-
sites.
We,
You
Ralph,
can-
we call it paperweights. If you want to print out a paperweight
Oh,
that
yeah,
goes
yeah.
boom,
Yeah.
You can print grips for your AR, the angled foregrips. Like there's a lot of cool stuff that you can print that is not available for sale at the stores. So for me, that's why I got into it. It was a lot of stuff that I just couldn't buy and I wanted. So I got into it. And it was a big steep learning curve, man. But I do recommend it. It is very fun. Once you hit that print and you see those layers build up, and in a few hours you have a solid object. I mean, it's really satisfying, man. I really enjoy it.
So we are doing an introductory price for the spring session, right? Is that what we
Yeah, I
discussed?
think it's
and we agreed on?
like $50 off or something.
Yeah, and I wouldn't I wouldn't announce the exact price quite yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we need to verify. But at least you're going
I'm
to
pretty sure it is.
get some money off. So,
I'm gonna get a deal.
yeah. So
just make
definitely
sure-
sign up. Go ahead.
All right,
just make sure to sign up right now because you don't want to miss this deal. Because
first round.
trust
is
me,
super.
once you get into this university, you're not going to be disappointed because you're going to know that once you're done with these courses, your firearm is going to be 100% reliable because we do have the best builders instructing you how to get that, again, first time quality.
And as far as the
You
stippling, I'll
can't.
make it because he did his thing and y'all did your thing. So if anybody's interested in the stippling class, please come on over and let's like I say in my video, y'all haven't seen it yet, but let's melt some polymer together. So look, here's the thing, kind of like going off of what P80 was saying. Always wanted to try it, but you're scared, right? If you've thought about stippling and you're like, I don't know where to get started, then definitely come see me. Like I was saying earlier, there's a materials list. You have everything that you need to get involved in the class. And anybody can melt polymer, guys. Anybody could cut polymer. Anybody could take, but to make it feel good in the hand, to reshape the grip, recontour the grip and make it feel good and make it look good. I mean, there's when you look at people's work, you can have like 10 guns that look really good, but there's like 2 guys, you're like, man, there's something about these frames, I can't really explain it. Well, join my class and I'll tell you what those fine details are.
Yeah. And you're going to help them build a business if that's what they want. You can mentor them into that aspect as well. So that's definitely a bonus. If you're looking for something that you try it, you have a passion for it, you've got a great instructor that can get you to where you want to be.
Thanks, Sarge.
With a bunch of support from guys like Ralph and Benchy's Go Boom and Panda and Marine Gun Builder and Rogue Banshee, DLD After Dark, Flying Rich, and then as well as myself.
Yep.
So
Great cast, guys.
Yep.
Seriously. Super honored.
So we appreciate you guys. Thank you for stopping by. Christian, thank you so much for coming in here. We appreciate you showing up to our show tonight.
Really appreciate it. Had a good time.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I really appreciate
it was good to
thank you.
Good to learn something new about somebody in our community, and for me to kind of branch out. So,
real quick, Sarge, I texted you the link, and Panda,
I got it.
I emailed you the link as a reply to the email you sent me originally.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to myself real quick.
Okay. So are you guys jumping on at the beginning of my show after this? Is that what's going on?
Yeah. We'll let you get started, do your intros, get everybody in, then we'll do the announcement.
Okay.
All right. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you guys over on the Chairman Juan channel in just a little bit.
Chairman Juan.
Sounds good.
And in our classrooms.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Have a wonderful evening. See you on Ralph's next live on Chairman's channel. Take care, everybody.
All right.